Hello everyone, Manithral here, and welcome to the weekly update video for RuneScape 3. Now, it is another patch week, just a heads up, so you guys know in advance. But we also have a little bit of a changes to the, well, it's a game update slash Yaks patches and community news. So it says Yak to the Shadows, they are on week 2, and they seem quite a bit of people actually already having third age type cosmetics from it, which is actually pretty cool. So there's still plenty of time. It doesn't end until August 2nd, so there's quite a bit of time yet to actually get this all completed. This we will get to in a second here. Server maintenance, that was every so often they need to dust off the servers, you know, and get things fixed up. So, you know, after today's update, I guess they had a 30-minute a little buffer. It took a little bit longer, but there was some server maintenance today. Chat filter improvements. So it's the same one that went into effect for the OSRS. There's just certain words that are very toxic to communities and to people in general, and regardless of your filter, certain words are still going to be marked out. And I'm pretty sure we all know, given light what's going on in the world lately, what those certain words most likely intend to. So let's just be grateful Jaggeds has taken a stance. Don't forget the Twitch Prime. So you get the free premium currency for Twitch Prime, which is 400 rune coins, 20 treasure hunter keys, and 80 hearts of ice. Don't forget to grab that while you can, if you can. And live streams this week is Tuesday, July 7th at 1600 game time, RuneScape update. Thursday, July 9th at 1600 game time, tutorial with Mod Stu and Mod Porky. Monday, July 6th, which was today, which was at 1730, featured streamer May Carew. Sorry if I butchered that. Forum Spotlight. So they like to kind of give us attention to this. It looks like just somebody who was painting a absolutely fantastic goby right there, which is actually pretty cool. Pride event, if you had missed it, it was actually a big one, and over 1,200 people showed up to help celebrate Gillinor and the support for the LGBTQ plus rights. So that is actually pretty fantastic. Then of course there is the featured Pink Skirts event, as always. Now as for the updates today, we have up first we have archaeology. Well, for the patch notes, when completing filling an empty divine charge using a divine nomadic vacuum, excess energy will now flow into the next empty divine charge instead of just being wasted. Players using an uncharged divine nomadic vacuum with an active divine conversion relic power will now receive the correct amount of energy when converting memories at the energy rift. Additionally, messaging has been added when completing art critique jack collections to indicate that replica pieces of art can be displayed in the guild office. Some archaeology materials have been added to the archaeology research and Tetracompass loot tables for better distribution. Fix an issue where the Ruthless perk was remaining on the buff bar after being cleared. Now, one thing, I don't know if you guys agree, I think a nice little change to archaeology should just be the fact that you can kind of keep handing in, you know, artifacts to people regardless if you complete a set or not. And then you just have like a little counter that goes up on that item, and then you can just complete them as you see fit. This way you don't have to like kind of have them all hoarded into one spot if you have a lot of them. Other arcberry bushes will now give 5% farming reputation when harvested, in line with other bushes. Replace outdated spell icons in the magic skill guide with the up-to-date ones found in the magic ability book. updated the spell names in the Magic Skill Guide to match his Magic Spell Book. Players will no longer continue the mining animation indefinitely when mining the Ancient Rock in the Mountain Daughter quest. The alphabetical order of the music play track list has been updated. The examine text for the Ice Arrow now reads an Ice Arrow. The tooltips for Terran hard task rewards on the achievement interface now mentions the Mushroom Patch teleport. Blue and green blubberfish jelly have been added to the I'm cooking options in the quick chat match menu. Crystal has now been added to the I'm using a hatchet made of option in the quick chat. Updated information for Mace Invaders on the achievement path. A colon has been added to the hover text when mousing over Reaver points. Misleading info on the max capes could be taken into Demonheim have been removed for the Demonheim, the Dungeon Daring perk. The player-owned House Cowfight Soldier model has been updated. Telegrabbing on the monster's death will no longer cause the sprinkler to malfunction. Added a new marker to direct players to the Lumbridge Castle kitchen. Added a tutorial for legendary pets. Players no longer require 75 range to unlock Mechanized Chinchompa Blueprint, as the requirement is not necessary to produce the item. Remove the reference to virtual levels upon leveling in skills that reach level 120 without virtual levels. An A/B test for 50% of self-selected new players has ended. All players that choose I have never played before will once again start on the tutorial island. Note that the players can skip the tutorial in the settings menu or bypass sections of the tutorial island with chapter exits. On mobile, the buff and debuff bars have been relocated from the top of the interface layout to the bottom, above the combat HUD. They have been also made marginally smaller. The extra action button currently used for Solok's encounter has been repositioned to sit above the combat HUD. It will now move to account for toggling of combat mode action bars. The ribbon settings setup UI has been moved and tied to the main game settings interface as its own tabs. Users can still access the interface from an existing button located on the custom ribbon itself. Fixes. A hotfix first, which is repairing uncharged augmented tier 92 equipment with repair patches, will now correctly repair them to a charged state for the first time. Otherwise, we have the Equus Archer Helm no longer returns any script errors and will now load properly. Corrected multiple spellings in the Broken Home quest and quest rewards sec green. Grammatical issues in the Castle Wars manual, speaking grammatical errors, have been resolved. Fix an animation issue when reading through the Covenant of Perpetual Conflict. Corrected grammatical and spelling issues in the rewards text for Fate of the Gods. Corrected a typo in Buyer's dialogue at the player on farm. Corrected a typo in the Love Story quest log. The 1 Foot in the Grave mini quest is no longer shown as complete after handing the body parts to Zavistic Rarv. Corrected the start point information for dealing with Scabarus. A full stop has been added to the end of the examine text for coconut milk. Fixed multiple typos in the big book of bangs. Tackled a rogue apostrophe in the examine text for young Gobi at the entrance to Otod. Tips for Frog Slayer task are now correct. Fix an issue that was preventing Cuckoo Kachat achievement from triggering on free-to-play worlds. Attempted to decant an Ogre Flask thermal into a potion flask will no longer force a logout screen. Fixed a typo in the Miner's Journal number 2. Fixed an issue where the text was being cut opening cutscene of Desperate Time. Corrected a desynchronization error that could occur between daily challenges and their titles when linked from the featured tab. Fixed an issue where inspecting another player with a specific achievement would cause them to disconnect. The quest marker for another slice of ham now leads a player to Ambassador Albajur's actual location. The message received when creating 4-dose potion no longer state that it is a 3-dose potion. Power boost potions are no longer dropped to the floor when the Wasteless Herblord ability triggers. Players can no longer kill the shapeshifter at the end of the witch's house quest more than once. Using a blessed flask on various items now works as expected. The player-owned house build mode checkbox now consistently reflects the build mode's actual status. The Twin Furies no longer display their health on value on their individual health bars. The Dragon Breath ability will now animate correctly even when asphyxiate animation is appearing. The bell in Sithrid Abbey no longer disappears after the cutscene with Sister Anna. Audio will no longer cut out after changing draw distance. Augmenting Masterwork armor now correctly states which version of the armor you have augmented. The Examine pop-up now appears correct location when game view window is set to small. There is now a inventory space check for the Moonlight Mead gift at the end of the Curse of the Blackstone quest. The requirement to make a Revenant Bane two-handed sword via Make X interface are now checked properly. Added a fade transition to hide the player's model when upgrading buildings in a player-owned port. Fix an issue where the leaf trap east of the northernmost hunter training area in Turin could sometimes send you back west while jumping east across it. Fix an issue which resulted in entity highlights being enabled on login despite being disabled in a previous login. Fix an issue where the quick players would not update correctly after long pressing the player below. So that is actually it for today's update, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more, and until next time, later guys!